This is the nest box for my pair of Anoles smallwoodi, and just to show you how it's disturbed like this, that's just like jungle soil. I believe it's the Zilla brand this time, and this is damp sphagnum moss. So here's an example with my pair of Barracoa how it would look if it's undisturbed. So now, since I know that the female's been in here digging around, now the goal is to try to find and see if she laid an egg. So typically what I do is just remove the sphagnum moss off the top, and I try to keep that moist so that the substrate layer stays moist. And I'm going to do this with one hand because I'm holding my cell phone, obviously. So it's just, a lot of times I'll lay in either of the three corners of this particular nest box. So let's see if I get lucky. Let's see if she laid over here. And you know, you got to be somewhat delicate because they are just a little bit bigger than jelly bean size eggs, and I don't want to accidentally squash them. I'm going to apologize if my arm is getting in the way, but I'm trying to look what I'm doing in the nest box, not necessarily looking at the view screen on the phone right now. So let's see if we get lucky here. Struck out over there. I thought I was going to have an egg yesterday, and I looked and there was nothing. So let's see. Well, I don't know. And then sometimes I can remove some of the soil. Obviously I'll put it back. And then if I see excrement in here, or you know, a bug got in here like a super mealworm or a beetle or something, I will obviously take those out because they will eat your eggs. And so there it is. So it was just laid today, so that little brief amount of time where I kind of inverted it, I don't think is going to cause any harm to the egg. So it's less than 24 hours old. Typically you do not want to rotate your reptile eggs at all, because the yolk, I believe the theory is, will attach to the top, and if you flip it over, they will drown. So then I'm going to put my soil back in first, and then I'm going to put my layer of sphagnum moss back on top, and occasionally I have to replace the sphagnum moss because obviously it gets dirty, it gets, you know, soil gets caught up in it, and it becomes difficult to determine if the females have been digging around. So, and I'm gonna put you back in the enclosure, and probably in about 7 to 9 to 10 days I will see it disturbed again and find another egg. So here's my egg. It's nice and firm, white except for obviously the dirt on it. So I do believe, in my experience, this will be a viable and fertile egg. Now I need to get it to the incubator. Okay, so this is just a Hovabator brand incubator, and when we open it up, so I always try to keep the egg, you know, right side up. So currently I have all of Tiamat's eggs in here. They are on Pangea hatch, which is a clay substrate. And where I have these, can you see this? Where I have these 4 eggs right here, this is Hatchlight, and this is a Hatchlight incubating tub. And those are actually 4 smallwoodi eggs from the same nest box that I just grabbed this one. So it's always kind of difficult to do this with one hand. But I got my son manning the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one and just nestle it down into the substrate there. And go around it. And this is, I might need, it's still a little moist. I might need to add a little more distilled water to it. But So that is how I find the egg and putting them in the incubator. I had the incubator set at 84 degrees Fahrenheit, so the nighty anoles will hatch in about 45 days, and I'm caught up on something back here. And those spiny tail iguana eggs, if they all end up being viable, will hatch in about 85 days, so about practically twice as long as the night anoles. So that's my incubator. That's how I recover eggs. And now I'll go show you the most recent baby that just hatched out for me last weekend. So that little guy right there, that's an Anoles smallwood. That is a male, and how I can tell that that's a male is because he does not have the cross bands that would be vertical like the females do, but he is about 1 week old, and I'm feeding him appropriately sized insects such as small crickets, small mealworms. I will also offer Repashy grubs and fruit crested gecko diet, as well as chunks of blueberry or mango. I spray him down, mist the enclosure really well at least once a day, preferably twice a day. I do like to dish feed them, that way I can see, whoops, cricket just jumped out. I can keep track of what's being consumed. But this right here is just a nano reptibreeze, and I will keep up to 3. So there's other eggs in the incubator. If they hatch out here soon, they got to be of similar size and hatch within a month of one another, because night anoles will eat other night anoles if they'll fit in their mouth. So that's a 1 week old Anoles smallwood. Disregard this. This was from earlier in the year. And these guys are about 2.5 month old. See the crossbands on that one in the back? That's a female. And I actually have 2 females and a male in here. Whoop. So that's the male. See, no crossbands. Female crossbands, and the other little female is down here. But they are super fast, so they're going to bounce out on me. But so I would keep no more than 3. There she is in the back there. So same thing, spray them down liberally at least once a day, preferably twice. Insects, fruit. These guys will actually take the Repashy grub pie product off of tongs. Some of them, most of mine will take it, some of them don't. I have plastic drop cloth all the way around this whole bank of enclosures to help keep the spray in when I spray them down. And I'm going to go ahead and shut this. And obviously full spectrum lighting is important. This is a 4-foot T5 high output light fixture that goes along the entire bank of these 5 enclosures. So I just wanted to show you guys from recovering an egg to the incubator setup I have to how I care for babies. At one time I had probably 30 critter keepers like these ones right here set up, each of them having a solo baby night anole in it. There is a night anole in this one. Not going to be able to see him. I was just tinkering in there. So I would say no more than 3 kept together. If they hatch within a reasonable amount of time of one another, they definitely have to be of similar size. And these guys right here are even older. These guys hatched back in March of this year. So, and what this is, that's a female smallwood, and in the back corner is a female smallwood, and this one is a barracoa. I do not know if it's a male or a female. The crossbanding really doesn't apply to this species, but they're used to me being in here. I'm doing something with them every day. But so if anybody's interested in some Anoles smallwood, the barracoa is not going to be for sale yet. If it turns out to be a female, I will keep her. If it is a male, I probably will at some point offer him for sale. And one last guy to show. And this guy, he hatched out in December of 2017. He's getting huge. He's getting way too big for this nano reptibres, and he is for sale if anybody's interested in him. But he is a pig, and he has got quite the attitude. I'm not trying to get bit on camera for you guys. It doesn't hurt, but you know, getting bit by anything is not fun. So, all of that filmed with my phone here. So if the quality, if it's a little shaky, I apologize for that, and I hope this turns out okay. I got this bright LED right in my face. Hopefully I'm not looking too horrific with the bad lighting, and it's warm back here, so I'm sweating a little bit. But so from recovering an egg, putting it in the incubator, to care for a baby night anole. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks.